when there's no risk involved, there's no reward. Well, before I started my journey with entrepreneurship and having the courage and building that up to, quit my job and just go all in on myself and my business, you hear these thoughts in your head like, what if it doesn't work? What happens if, I lose everything? What happens if, I make a fool out of myself and everybody looks at me stupid because I'm out here promoting myself and talking about my business to everybody? Like, you just have all these thoughts, and it comes from limiting beliefs. Like, beliefs about that you have about yourself from childhood, from, a kid, some things that your parents may have tried to install into you, what the school system had tried to install into you. And you just have all these negative thoughts in your head. Like, it's just a consistent battle with yourself. Like, okay, I say I'm gonna do it, but then something pops up and it just like agrees with that thing. If you know what I mean, like your negative thoughts, you will start to see things in your life that will agree to them. You may even run into a news article on, somebody that may lost their business or something like that. And it's just like, yeah, I knew I shouldn't have did it. And just like, it reaffirms, it's like reaffirming your bias and the things that you think about now. But I want to encourage you, just do it. Like, I know a lot of us have different things in our lives that we want to go after and we aspire to be, but the other voices are so loud. Like, they're louder than the positive voices and the voices that tell you to go out there and actually try to go do something and make something happen. And it's usually because our environments, man. Like, entrepreneurship is completely different. It's just like regular life, comfortable living, different types of ideas, and it's flipped on top. Like, it's flipped over. It's flipped on side of his head because everybody wants comfortability. Like, your brain, like your body wants you to feel okay. Like, it wants us to feel stable. It wants to be, simple and smooth. Don't get me too angry. Don't get me too depressed. Like, stay right here in this middle. And with entrepreneurship, it's flipping that completely, and you're completely throwing yourself into new territory, which is the reason why you don't have these people around you, because it's rare, right? So I'm talking to you as somebody who is anti-entrepreneurship and had those same things where friends just didn't believe, or they thought like they believed, but when it came down to nitty gritty, they were just okay with the comfortability of their jobs, which is why I have to transition myself to new people. But I'm telling you on this video, like, just take the risk. Like, go out there and start the business. I don't know if you want to do clothing. It can be Airbnb, car rental, stocks, real estate. If you want to start a whole new career, you may have been doing your career, what you've been doing now for 6, 12 years. But it's like at a point where you don't feel at peace. You don't feel happy, or you don't feel like this is where God has called you to be. Switch it up. And your thoughts, I hear your thoughts right now. Like, man, what if it don't work? What if it crash? What if I lose everything? Like, what happens if you don't? Like, what happens if you stay comfortable in doing the thing that you know you're not supposed to be doing, or stay so sensitive in a comfortability of not going after the goal that's been constantly on your mind for so long, right? It's and what made me really start thinking about this recently, I've already had this, mindset for the past 3 years I've been in entrepreneurship, but we was in the book, where was this? I mean, this isn't all the, the Gospels, but we was in Luke specifically, and, it's talking about, matter of fact, let me not misquote that. I don't know if it's in all the Gospels, but we're talking about the parable of the talents, right? So God gave 5 talents to somebody, he bought back 5. He gave 2 talents to somebody, they bought back 2. And then he gave 1 talent to somebody else, and they buried it because they wanted to keep it safe. And God said, you're worthless if you bury that talent. And he said, it's better for you to go out there and try and lose that 1 talent instead of you just holding on to the talent and not using it, right? I feel like God has placed like immense value, immense gifts and talents in each and every single one of you guys' lives. But if you don't use it, it's like, what? If you don't use it, thinking about it like this, if you don't use it, obviously somebody else is going to use it because his plan is still going to go, right? It's just an honor that he gave you a piece of the puzzle, like, and allowing you to be on this journey. But if you don't use this thing, man, the people that you're supposed to serve, they're suffering. Like, they're suffering because you too scared, right? You don't have the skills right now. You feel like you unqualified. Listen, man, if you are weak, that is where you're strong with Christ, right? And I talk about God a lot, man, because it has immensely changed my life and a lot of things that I think about. I talked about this in a little bit in the previous video, man, but me just being in the word, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I don't want to throw that out there. Like, this is me. Hey, like, I'm this guy, man. I'm not perfect. I still struggle with things to this day. But I understand when you commit to him and you say, you know what, man, I don't care what my plans are. I want the plans that you have set out for me. It's another level of clarity. It's another level of peace. It's another level of steps that you are taking when you're walking with him, right? But first thing first, I want you to recognize your talents. I want you to use them. Don't think about the risk. Now, some of you guys are maybe at a point where you can't take a risk. I understand that. But it's some of y'all just walking on that line and you know you could be taking a risk, but you're just scared. So listen, this video is to encourage you to just do it. Do it. Do what you got to do. If you got to go bust some tables for 50, 60 hours a week just to get the capital to start something, that's what you got to do. If you got to go speak on a stage to get this fear out of speaking, that's one of the things for me. I feel like talking in front of people on the stage, I can do it, but it's still like a little fear in there. So it's like every opportunity that I have to go step on the stage, I'm going to do it so I can get better in that area, so I can serve more people in that area. All right. I used to be scared to record videos, like stumbling over my words, like skipping, I like stuttering, doing everything. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. And now I got videos. I'm encouraging people, inspiring people to do things that they're supposed to be doing, right? So it's just like taking one step at a time. It don't have to be no huge step. I'm not telling you to go spend $50,000 or $100,000. I'm telling you just to take one step at a time. Like, get outside of that comfort zone. And then what you gonna start recognizing, when you take one step, some other stuff gonna start opening up. Your brain gonna start thinking differently. Like when you start to expose your mind to different things, it's like, okay, cool. I did this one thing. What's the next thing? All right, let me hop to there. All right, this cool. And now you're constantly developing yourself. You're constantly opening your mind to new horizons. And what I've also noticed too as well, even if you don't get the thing that you thought that you were going to get, like the risk that you're thinking about taking right now, the business that you want to start, let's just say you want to start a hair salon or whatever it may be, and you're looking to make $15K a month in this business. Like, you go all in for a year, 2-3 years straight, and you don't got a hair salon. Like, you're not making $15K a month, but the person that you have became, the things that you now know, the level of communication that you do have, the level of like learning speed that you do have, like that the ability for you to start taking action quickly than you did before. I feel like those things are more powerful than the thing that you thought that you wanted, because now you have a skill that can be transferred to something else where I feel like God is calling you to truly be. You know? So listen, I'm telling you, and I'm over here just speaking clearly to you because I just really want you to take the jump, and especially if you believe in God, because listen, the journey for me right now is, man, if you believe in God and you start a business, I would rather you have a business than all these other people in these corporations who don't care nothing about their customers, who just there for the dollar. Like, if we can build kingdom businesses and serve people the way God wants us to serve them, man, this world can go, it can make a complete 360. But you got to get outside your comfort zone and just say, you know what, I'm gonna just go for it and just see what happens. All right. Right? Where there's no risk, there's no reward. Like, stand out, try to be different. It's okay if people look at you weird. Like, that's going to be temporary. Right? What's going to happen 10 years later, 5 years later, when they're looking at you now? All right? So don't quit. Keep on going. I love you. God bless you. And I'll catch you for another video. Go on.